Hello everyone, this is Crota giving you a shoutcast between VestigePros and Argos Xenix here on Typhoon Peaks. Here we have VestigePros spawning as the the red Terran player. Yes, I am not colorblind. The red Terran on the bottom right hand side of the map. Meanwhile, all the way over here across the other end of the map, we have Argos Xenix spawning as the blue Zerg. So this is Zerg versus Terran here on Typhoon Peaks. I am looking forward to this matchup and games on this map. Now, I believe this is maybe one of the first couple of games that I have cast on this particular map. It is one of the new BattleNet ladder maps. This is still part of patch 1.2. I believe 3 or 4. It is not in the 1.3.0 series, so I do not have any of the cool nifty overlays that normally come with the game now. I will be trying to use those more in the future. Anyways, there is a ramp that leads down to a very nice low ground expansion that is relatively close to your ramp. Very easy for a Zerg player or any player for that matter to defend the expansion while also defending their own natural ramp. Argos Xenix now making his way out with this one Overlord as well. Now going into the south position over here. There is going to be a barracks being placed down by VestigePros. We may be getting, a second barracks. So this is going to be an early double racks with no refinery. He has stopped his SCV production, and this changes the game up a lot significantly. Double racks early on means that we may be seeing an SCV rush coming in from Vestige. You can also see Vestige trying to make sure that he doubled mines with most of his SCVs. And now there's a couple of these further mineral patches that are still currently not being mined, but that is going to be a very, very aggressive playstyle from Vestige. You can see now an SCV making its way over here, and as soon as this drone comes into here, the drone will be able to see the double racks. So it is very important that this drone makes it up that ramp, but we may get a marine out. The marine may not be able to come out in time, as we now have the drone now making its way up the ramp. Is it going to be able to see the double marines or the double units? Yes, I believe it will. And now Argos Xenix knows that he has to play a lot more defensively than he would really like to. He needs to make his way down, get some drones over here, but it's going to be some time before any creep is near done. So that drone not able to do much at all at this stage. So that drone now battling out with that SCV, the drone will win in a 1v1 fight just because of the natural regeneration. You can see it's already starting to regenerate some hit points, and now the drone needs to try to come back over here. The spawning pool is about to be done, as now the marine joining in on the fight as well. The marine trying to chase down the drone. A fresh drone now going to come in as well. Will this drone grow up and be a spine crawler? That is going to be the key question now. A very, very low hit point. There is one spine crawler now being morphed in, and now 4 drones or 6 drones being used to hold off against a very, very large number of SCVs, marines, and now a bunker also being placed on as well. That one marine needs to be very careful, as the drones are now getting some damage. They need to attack the SCV. Not quite sure what's going on, as Zerglings now coming in as well. So the drones going after the SCV, and now Zerglings basically microing against the marines, trying to make sure to go after the marines instead of just after those SCVs. SCVs have a decent number of hit points, and now nicely done, cleaning up multiple units. And this very aggressive play by Vestige is pretty much going to be cancelled right now. Taking a look at the unit count, 15 drones versus 12 SCVs. There is 1 mule in play, so there is a little bit of a difference there. There are a couple of Zerglings here now, drones being transferred over as well. The marines still being rallied, as we are not getting any gas whatsoever from Vestige. Vestige at some point needs to do something, and it looks like he's going to try to push out again. That one Zergling getting sniped down very, very easily. The Queen does have a natural base of 1 armor, so it does protect itself a lot from the damage of those marines. The Queen now trying to pull away. This Overlord may get shot down very easily. Zerglings now trying to come in, and I do not see any creep tumors whatsoever. So those marines doing that stutter step, able to get a lot of damage, even though it is not currently using any of the stim pack. So nicely done by Vestige so far, being able to kill off Overlords and now prevent Argos from being able to do any serious mining. There are a lot of Zerglings now trying to come back out. The metabolic boost has not been started yet, as the Zerglings are now trying to perhaps do a surround here. The Marines are in a little bit of a trouble. They're trying to stutter step away, and a lot of damage is being dealt. The Marines and the Zerglings battling it out. Unit after unit is falling in on both sides, and it looks like the Zerglings are going to fall due to reinforcements. There is still one spine crawler here. That spine crawler doesn't want to uproot, as now, a quick impaler kill there by that spine crawler. So 4 Zerglings sitting here. Argos needs to get some additional queens in play. getting another queen down into this location, and now we'll be able to spawn larva off of this hatchery instead. And the Marines are still rallying and now going to activate that Zonaga watchtower, and it looks as though Vestige is finally transitioning away from mass Marines and now going into a command center. He should be able to lift that off and then land in just a moment, but instead deciding to upgrade to an orbital command first. Double gas now being placed down by VestigePros as he is transitioning, going into a factory now. And that very early aggressive play now simply melting away to Argos Xenix's micro in that battle. We should be getting another queen. Oh, no other queens so far. The metabolic boost has been started, as I mentioned earlier. No additional drones on gas though, as those Zerglings are just cleaning up the rest of those Marines. Now one Zergling could perhaps just position itself right there. And now a couple Marines sitting off over here as well. That one poor Zergling gonna get taken down. This front door is very, very vulnerable to any sort of banelings. But as soon as this factory is up with that tech lab, siege tanks will be able to just blast away at those banelings before they even get within splash range, and then make short work of those units as well. An Overlord now positioning itself to suicide in and get as much scouting and site information as possible. We are getting the blue flame research for those Hellions, so Hellions are going to be able to start two-shotting Zerglings and drones, as now Argos looking ahead to the future, looking to deal damage towards these destructible rocks, and then make its push out. You can see that the destructible rocks, even though they are in this position here, can take damage from a Zergling as far as here. So this is probably one of the designs to make it so that these rocks can still be taken down by Zerglings. Normally only 4 or 5 Zerglings, or 6 or 7 Zerglings could actually deal damage at a time, making these rocks very, very difficult to destroy. But now, based upon this new setup that Blizzard has done, it is easier to destroy these rocks, as you can get more Zerglings on across that surface area. How many units is that? That is 11? No, yeah, 11, because this one Zergling right there is not currently attacking. Zergling now taking down another scouting unit there, as we are now getting the claw attack upgrades. More spine crawlers are being morphed in. A queen is here and here as well. So Argos Xenix finally running off of 2 full hatcheries, as these rocks are now going to continue to fall. The expansion is now being set up. Orbital command now in position. Marine's going to be able to shoot down that unit there. And then multiple supply depots being built over here, but not watching the rocks along the north. This is going to become very, very difficult, as those units are going to be able to just funnel in from that north position and get a lot of damage. And Hellions now on the move, and a lot of them to boot. They already have that blue flame research, and now Argos Xenix sees how much trouble he is currently in, as the blue flame Hellions quickly take down one of those Zerglings. The Zerglings need to figure out what exactly they can do. There is queens, but with no roaches in play, only one spine crawler. What are those Hellions going to do? Hellions now are just going to run away. There is one queen there sitting on the ramp, now just trying to hold back, and now all the queens, sorry, the Hellions now able to make it across. Queen now trying to get in once again. The queen now coming in, and now more drones just getting toasted, and now losing multiple drones in this battle so far. You can see Zerglings also getting toasted as well. The destructible rocks have been destroyed, and those Zerglings could have just easily made their way in, but perhaps they want to do the Baneling movement upgrade and then just try to Baneling their way into this position here. I do not believe Vestige. Yeah, Vestige knows that the rocks are now down in that position. Taking a look at the unit count now. 40 SCVs versus 39 drones, but there are 3 mules in play. Those mules giving a very, very strong lead once again back to VestigePros. Or Pro S. Zerglings now seen off over here. The Zerglings do have the level 1 weapons upgrade. Production wise, a lot of things happening in the Terran players base. Hellion, Siege Tech, level 1 infantry upgrades, and also armory as well, double tech labs, while we have Overlords, centrifugal hooks, and Zerglings still being trained up. So Argos still trying to win this battle purely off of Zerglings so far, and now it looks like he's going to be able to finish off all of those Hellions just by being able to outflank them. And my mouse camera went a little bit crazy there, as these Hellions just doing a lot of damage, going back and forth, getting a lot of kills so far. Not sure who really won out in that battle, Hellions versus Zerglings, but those Zerglings do have a fair amount of damage on them now, and now we have one Marine trying to run all the way home. You can see that there is the armory here, the supply depots are here, and now salvaging that bunker to build another barracks. And Siege Tank will be able to squeeze its way inside along this backside, and then re-siege up, acting as an early blow-up system, or remotely trying to detonate these Banelings. as those banelings are going to be able to, banelings are going to try to just simply run in, perhaps get some damage. Are those banelings just going to simply scuttle their way across the map? No, they're going to wait for the movement speed upgrade. Needs about another 20 seconds or so. But that siege tank with siege tech is going to be able to at least deal some damage across some of those banelings before they move in. The zerglings and perhaps should move in a little bit first, and now a barracks repositioning itself. And what is going to happen in this battle? The banelings now moving out, and they are going to have that splash damage upgrade. And now simply moving in, just melting across, taking down almost the armory, taking down multiple units. Zerglings are now coming in, just swarming into the location here. Banelings, and even though they were detonated by the siege tank, killing multiple marines, and now the armory looks like it will burn down. No SCVs coming over to try to repair, and no, these Zerglings are not going to come back in to try to deal any additional damage. But the front door was destroyed just for a moment, taking down some marines. Army-wise, only 700 minerals and Zerglings for Argos. Vestige a little bit ahead now, but he is currently supply locked, unable to produce anything else, as he is now behind on some of those supply depots that were lost in that front door bust. Another hatchery being placed down here, as these rocks are now being taken down as well. So opening up the other entrance into this low ground expansion area, allowing units to be able to rally out very, very quickly. Now, anyone who has seen Argos run off of 3 or 4 bases and knows that he can get a lot of gas very, very easily and then start training up a large number of Mutalisks. Now, unless Vestige goes for a decent number of Thors, he's going to have a very, very difficult time. The Thors are going to be able to two-shot any of those Mutalisks unless the Mutalisks get that level 1 armor upgrades. Thors deal, I believe, 14 times 4. I'm not going to try to embarrass myself with my math. What? I'm not going to do it. Not going to do it. 56? Yeah. 56. The Thor now making its way out. Marines also making their way out. So yeah, level 2 weapons upgrade allows the Thor to two-shot a Mutalisk, but as soon as the level 1 armor upgrades come online for the Mutalisk need even 3 shots once again, but then level 3 upgrades completely evens it out once more and is able to destroy any of those units in 3 shots. And Overlord quickly getting shot down there by Vestige. Vestige now finally getting Stim Pack and Combat Shield. Very, very late in this game. We are already at the 18 or 17.5 minute mark and finally getting Stim Pack. So this is going to become Marines, Thors, and siege tanks trying to battle it out. You can see more destructible rocks are trying to be taken down. It looks like these rocks may be taken down as well in order to establish this expansion over here. So this is going to become a very intensive macro battle as Argos Xenix now takes up a 4th base. The main starting locations are going to start to mine out in just a little bit. By the time this hatchery is done, I believe we will be down to about 300 minerals on some of these mineral patches to the north as the Mutalisks now take into the air. A couple burrowed banelings at the Zelnaga watchtowers in ensuring that they'll be able to get a lot of easy damage. A Zergling now going after that one SCV there. It will get taken down. And those deadly green landmines looking to deal a lot of damage. Mutalisks now coming in, just finishing off many of those Marines. And now the Mutalisks deciding to back off. They have the level 1 weapons upgrade as 6 more Mutalisks are being trained up once again. These backdoor rocks now taking even more damage. One Thor, I do not believe, he does not see the Mutalisks. He can tell that the rocks are taking damage, but that is essentially it. More Mutalisks still joining in on this fight here as the level 2 weapons upgrade now coming in. The Marines are coming in to start baneling and start cleaning up the rest of those units, but quickly destroyed there as a baneling with level 2 weapons upgrade simply melting that small tactical force that would try to move out there. There's also a Queen now setting up a very, very strong creep highway all across the map. Zerglings have finished off the rocks. This hatchery is now being placed down here as this hatchery is also done as well. 83 drones by Argos Xenix. So Argos now just getting the level 2 weapons upgrade and 5 more Mutalisks also teching into tier 3. Vestige in a little bit of trouble. He is currently playing the card of the Turtling Terran, running off of 3 bases. This is not a planetary fortress, folks, so this is going to have a very difficult time trying to defend against mass banelings as well. If the banelings are able to come into this position and just melt it after destroying these rocks, yeah, all Vestige has to say is he should have gotten a planetary fortress there in order to try to fend off the attack. Taking a look at the units now, 24 Mutalisks now in the air, 3 more in production, level 2 carapace upgrades, 9 more drones still being trained at this late stage in the game. I believe about 80 food for, no, almost going to be 90 food excuse me, 90 food in drones. Wow. I am fighting off a cold. My daughter gave me her sinus infection, so it is starting to hurt just a little bit. VestigePros now moving on with this medevac, perhaps going to do a drop into this location here. Not many drones here, just a lot of, just more gas harvesting more than anything else, as the Mutalisk simply going to swarm in here, doesn't care about the missile turret and what you can just destroying, and now going after the engineering bay. The engineering bay tech research has been destroyed now, and now going after the armory as well. It looks like that the armory will get shot down, and now those Mutalisks are able to run away, but a double drop now coming in. Zerglings now trying to snipe down this hatchery over here. Zerglings not going to be able to make it in time, as that hatchery is now down. Another group now going after this hatchery as well. So it looks like 2 hatcheries will be destroyed, and now Vestige with a very nice tactical move with upgraded Marines able to take down multiple hatcheries. It looks like these drones are going to be doing some long distance gas mining, but there are so many hatcheries across the map that it doesn't really hurt all too much. You can see that the Zerglings are trying to swarm underneath the medevac there, with the medevac able to fly away once again. Hatchery being rebuilt here. Another hatchery should be rebuilt there in just a moment, as Marines now dropping into this low ground. Medevac quickly picking them all up once more. There are Banelings now up on that high ground, so those Banelings should be able to just come in and get some damage. And oh, the Banelings just melting away at those units. The Marines taking the wrong step and just getting destroyed by those units. But Argos controlling so much of the map now, and should be able to essentially just attack, win in a little bit of time. But he is currently behind in economy. He does not have that many mineral patches to mine from. His natural expansion's almost done. He's only really mining from this location here, as a lot of his drones were destroyed. The Marines and siege tanks now moving out, cleaning up multiple creep highways. It looks like these Banelings are going to get destroyed before they are able to deal any serious damage at all. Drone now trying to get transferred over here, but there are Mutalisks now taking down this expansion, and now the orbital command will get taken down in addition to a lot of SCVs. So now VestigePros is in trouble as well. The Mutalisks now coming in from behind. Siege tanks out of siege mode without any support, and all of those siege tanks are going to get cleaned up in just a second. Marines trying to get back over there in time, but no, multiple siege tanks now simply just shot down and destroyed. Mutalisks, however, did take a round of javelin missiles from 2 groups of Thors. Or 2 Thors, and that's going to hurt even further. There are a lot of bunkers still here, and the Mutalisks are once again in full retreat. Siege tanks have to be very, very careful in this position, as if the Marines move too far away, that's going to really slow them down. The Mutalisks now trying to come back in, unable to get any real damage at all. Thor's now back over here as well. There are a lot of Banelings here, and now I also know that we did have the infestation pit, so fungal growth is a possibility. There are a lot of Banelings now down in this position as well. Siege tank starting to blast away at that one hatchery over here. It looks as though the Mutalisk trying to get some damage across different locations isn't going to be able to deal that much, as the bunkers are adding additional range and able to deal a lot of damage back towards those Mutalisks. Mutalisks looking to once again perhaps deal a little bit, do some damage towards those Marine siege tanks, continue to push forward, and are going to be able to flank this. And now the Banelings coming in from behind. Banelings now trying to separate, but Banelings in the front and the back, melting away all of those siege tanks. And it doesn't matter when you are flanked by Banelings, those units simply had nowhere to run. Argos Zenith is a little bit behind still, sitting at 3350 or 1750 versus 3150, but 18 more Banelings are currently being trained up, as a fresh group of Marines and siege tanks are once again on the move. Level 3 upgrades about to be completed after Argos hit the reset button by destroying both the armory and the engineering bay. They were nearly completed. Now this one command center making its way off to the north, thinking that it can land. It has no expansions that it can currently land. And now Vestige is currently mining off of 0 mineral patches right now. That's going to severely hurt him, as Argos is the only one mining at this stage in the game. You can see that the command center trying to land on that hatchery will not be able to do so. Marines and Vikings now making a move over towards those Mutalisks. Siege tanks now moving in as well. Zerglings just running around, perhaps waiting for the timing attack now. As there are siege tanks back over here, the Mutalisks going to be able to finish off this command center, and an additional base will be destroyed. Siege tanks, Marines continuing to push. There are Banelings just hiding off in the corner. The Banelings are getting just more Banelings are still being morphed into play. It looks like the layer may get taken down, as the siege tanks are pretty well protected at this time, but the Mutalisks want to come in and try to swarm in from the back once more. Siege tanks are upgraded 3-0. The Banelings now trying to run away. The Layer is going to get taken down. But where are those Mutalisks? Mutalisks looking to get more damage and now going to clean up many of these Marines here. Multiple Marines now trying to come in once again, going to get those cleaned up. And now all of these SCVs are going to get destroyed as those Glaive Worm bounce is just going to continue to damage those SCVs continually. You can see the SCVs are on auto repair, so they are also repairing each other in addition to that orbital command center, and a lot of damage has been dealt, and there's the GG. So the main damage, the main battle back over here, let me rewind it in just a moment. So the siege tanks and Thor is now trying to move out, and in come the Zerglings swarming as the siege tanks were out of siege mode, and the Banelings and Zerglings able to just swarm in and take down those units. So yeah, Argos Xenix completely out macroing VestigePros here on Typhoon Peaks. Thanks for watching, thanks for listening. I hope you guys enjoyed this 1v1 replay.